Hi, it's me, your friendly neighborhood gypsy, and as you all know, we weren't able to go live. Facebook was really messing up. The video quality was really poor. Earlier today, I had set everything up in Facebook. It should have been ready to go, but when we got ready to do the live video, everything I'd set up was gone. And again, the quality was really poor. I mean, come on, Facebook. I'm connected directly to my modem, so we should have just had the best quality you can even possibly imagine. But that's not what happened, is it? So, what I'm going to have to do instead is I'm going to have to just record this painting and I'll post it up in the group so that everybody can see it. Before I do another live video, I will work to get this squared away. I'll find out what went wrong, and hopefully we'll be able to go live next time. I'm sorry we couldn't go live this time, but I'll just go ahead and record what I was going to do live, and you'll still get to see it. You just won't get to comment live. Anyway, this is Winter Cardinal, and it's a paint party painting. It's a very beautiful painting. It's extremely simple to do. It goes extremely quick. But what I'm going to do is we'll start out with it as we would do it if we were doing a paint party. But I'm going to show you how you can enhance a painting from a paint party. Because just because you start with the basic elements doesn't mean that you have to stick with the basic elements. You can go beyond the basic elements and you can create a really beautiful piece of art. And it don't take that much to do it. It's very, very simple. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to minimize myself so that you can see my table, and we'll get started on this painting. So here it goes. I'm going to get small. And small, 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 small. I'm like Alice in Wonderland. So there I am up in the corner now. All right. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing my canvas. It's an 11 by 14 canvas. And you can see on that canvas that I have a tracing of the Winter Cardinal. Now the way I got that tracing on there was real simple. I printed out the line drawing, what they call the template, of the Winter Cardinal. Then I used some carbon paper. Remember carbon paper back in the days, you know, when you wanted to make a copy on something that you were typewriting, you'd stick carbon paper in there? Well, that's what I did here. This is carbon paper. So I put the carbon paper down, I laid the stencil down, and I traced the stencil. And it put the design on here. It's funny because back in the early days of my career tattooing, this is kind of sort of how we used to make the designs, the stencil designs to go on the people. We'd do a tracing with hectograph, and we'd have our stencil and we'd put it on people and we'd tattoo it. This is kind of the same thing. So this is the Winter Cardinal. You can see we got all the basic elements here. Now we're going to paint it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Prussian blue. It's a Americana, and it's Deco Art, and it's a dark, dark blue. So we're going to put a little bit of that here on my favorite palette. This palette is a 98-cent Walmart special cutting board. It's my favorite palette to use. It's Teflon. It's easy to clean. I've had it for a long, long time. If it ever wears out, I'll just buy another one. Now what I did first was I wet this brush. This is a 1-inch brush. It's a 1-inch flat brush. We'll be using a 1-inch flat brush. We'll be using a number 6 round. And we'll be using a liner brush. So you can see that there. That's the liner brush. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Prussian blue. I'm going to get a little bit here on the brush. And I'm going to go in here, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline this cardinal. Now see, that's a little bit too light. I don't like how light that is. So I may have got too much water into my brush. I'll just simply wipe it out. I'll dry it out here. And we'll come back in and we'll try that again. And if it's still too dark, too light I mean, and it still is too light, we're going to give this a shake. We'll just shake it up a little bit. It may have settled in there. We'll find out here in a second. Because that should be a lot darker than it is. This is a new bottle, so, you know, stuff happens, right? So, oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Let's try that again. So we're going to take that Prussian blue, and that's exactly how it should look. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to come in here, and we're going to outline this cardinal. Now, don't worry about being precise and, oh, I got to get into every little crack, and you just have to get it kind of outlined there. And the texture is going to help later on with the background. Now, I will tell you this, a lot of people spend a lot of time on the backgrounds. I'm going to tell you, don't spend a lot of time on your background. The reason why you don't want to do that is because backgrounds are backgrounds. They should be in the distance. They should not have a whole bunch of detail in them. I mean, if you're detail oriented and you want to spend tons of time on a background, you go right ahead. You have fun with it. But I always find that if I just go in and I do a quick background, it's always a lot more effective than spending hours on end working on the background, because that's not your focus. That is not your focus at all. Your focus is the bird in this painting. Whatever your central thing is that you're wanting to draw the eye to, that's your focus. That's always your focus. So we're going in here and we're outlining this bird. You see how quickly that's going. Don't take any time at all to get this bird outlined. Oh, have a little smudge I don't want there, so I'll get that out of the way. We'll just pull that out of there like that. We might be able to make use of that later. You'll see what I mean. So we'll come in here. Now I got the bird outlined, okay? Bird's all outlined. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take some white, and I'll make sure to shape this up because we don't want the same thing to happen again, right? Or it's too thin. So again, this is Deco Art, this is Americana, this is titanium white. I'm just going to put a little bit on here. A little bit goes a long ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of this, grab a little bit of the white, and then I'm going to go in here, I'm going to start cross hatching. I want a little bit more white here. Yeah, that looks good. I'm just going to kind of cross hatch that in. Grab some more white here. We'll just cross hatch that in. We want this nice kind of snowy looking background going on. We'll just cross hatch that. Now, when you cross hatch, it creates an interesting texture in your painting. You don't want just a flat background. You want something going on in the background. Now, I told you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the background, but by the same token, you don't want a boring background. So you go in here and you kind of cross hatch it in. Come in here like that. We'll get a little dark here. Come up here. Cross hatch that in. Now, you can see what's happening there. We've got this nice little texture going on here. Now, I'm going to come in, back with the dark, and down here, we'll cross hatch that in. But what I'm going to do, I want a little dark down here. I want this a little dark. So what I'm going to do is I cross hatch that in. We'll come back. We'll grab just a small touch of white. We'll start up at the top. Oh, I need a little bit more white than that. Start up here at the top, right? And we'll just hatch that in, like so. Just like that. See, we got this nice little texture going on here. We've got some interesting things happening behind the Cardinal. You can see how that looks on this side. Now you see where we started with the outline over here, and now we have all this interesting texture going on over here. So now we're going to do the same thing over here. What I'm going to do, though, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. We'll go in, we'll lay this in first like that. Cross hatch that out there. See, even though I don't have the white in, you can see I'm still cross-hatching. And you go, well, why you do that if you don't have the white in? Well, there's a reason. And you're getting ready to find out the reason why. So we're going to cross-hatch that. I need to get that edge right there. We're going to cross-hatch that in. Okay. So we got that in. Now I'm going to grab that white. We're going to kind of come over the top of that darker blue with that white, and we're going to cross-hatch that. Remember, we want the background to look kind of snowy. This is wintertime after all. So we want to go in here. We want to create, like, you know, snow in the background. It's a snowy winter night. And that Cardinal is in for the night. It's on its little roost. It's there where it can stay warm through the night, through the long winter night. Now, you notice as I did this that this side's a little bit lighter than the other side, and I'm going to feather that out a little bit. See how I'm just kind of giving a little feather off of the edge of the Cardinal? Just like that. Now, this is a little bit lighter. We have some dark areas here, which we want. I think we're going to add a little light down in here, just a little bit, just a touch. We have darker areas, but we also have the lighter areas coming in. Now, you'll want to do that with the rest of the background. You'll just come in here. Here's a good rule of thumb for you. If you're listening to music as you're doing this, if you're listening to music, where's my edge right there? There's my edge. What you want to do when you do your background is get your background done in 2 songs. That way you're not spending a lot of time on the background. You're getting in there, you're getting it done, and you can move on to other things. You can see I'm coming in here and kind of cross-hatching all that in. I have to get some more blue here in a second. I'm getting a little thin on the blue there. So we're cross-hatching all that in there. I grab a little more blue. Little more blue. Don't need much. Now, one thing you want to do while you're working on your background is you want to come in and you want to get the edges of the canvas. I'll show you how we're going to do that here in just a second. Let me get the rest of this in. Okay, grab some of my white. Now remember, acrylics dry quick, so you don't want to spend a lot of time messing around with the acrylics because they're going to dry pretty fast. But you do want to get them on there and you want to get them looking good. So the quicker that you can get your acrylics in, the better off you're going to be. Because you definitely don't want to work with paint that's drying out. It's not a lot of fun to do that. Okay, so now I have my background done. Okay, you can see how it looks there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up this canvas. I'm going to grab some of my blue and my white. I'm going to grab these edges. Because you want the edge of your canvas painted. You can see what's going on here. I'm just kind of dabbing it on there. And what I'll do is I'll come back, I'll show you here in a sec. Let me do this first. So you can see I'm just kind of dabbing it on there. Grab a little more blue here. We'll just dab it on. This makes for a really nice looking edge on your canvas. If you don't want to go out and spend money on a frame, this is the next best thing. That's why we use gallery stretch canvas, because it always looks so nice. Okay. So we got that edge done. You can see that edge right there. Looks really nice. Okay, so then you'd go and do your next edge. So you just turn that up like that. You come back in here and you do that edge. And again, you just dab. That's all you do. You just dab. You see, that's all I'm doing here. I'm just dabbing it in. We'll just dab that on there. And this helps your canvas look like it's completed. If you have an open edge, if it's like unpainted, it really don't look like your painting's complete. It kind of looks, I don't know, what's the term we want to use here? Garage sale-y. Yeah, that's it. You want a beautiful, beautiful canvas is what you're wanting. So, dab your edges. Get them all dabbed in there. You don't have to be real neat with this part of it. It's not important that you be super, super neat with this part because you just want to get those edges painted. But again, you want it consistent with what's going on with the rest of the painting. That's what I'm telling you. When you go in here, grab a little bit of blue and you grab some of that white and you just kind of dab it in there, just like that. Get that looking really nice. See how nice that looks? Okay, we almost got it. Now you're going, Gypsy, what about the other edge? You know, you just painted all those edges right there. What are you going to do about the other edge? Well, what I'm going to do about the other edge is this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn it. I don't want to touch the front. I want you to see what I'm doing there, okay? Just like that. Notice where my finger's at. My finger is right here. This is almost dry right now. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to turn this so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm come in here as I hold it there with that one finger. And I'm going to do my dab up here on the side that's unpainted. Though acrylics dry quickly, one of the nice things about using acrylics is because it does dry quickly, when you're doing an edge like this, you can get in there and get that edge done. And you don't have to worry about smearing paint all over the place. If you're using oil paint, you got to wait until the whole painting dries before you can go in there and just do anything with the edge at all. Now, as you see, I now have all four sides done. And what I'll do now is I'll come in here, I'll carefully lay this down, keeping my fingers off the edge, and we're ready to do some more work on this. Now, take a look at your painting, and you'll see white areas, like right there on the edge. Just dab your brush in there. Just don't get any more paint on the brush. There's no need to. Just, if you see any white peeking through right on the edge, just kind of dab your brush on there, and you'll take care of it. There we go. Edge is all done. Looks pretty good to me. All right. So now we're going to put up my favorite water cup here. I love this water cup. I've had this thing for like I don't know how long. Long time. I'll clean that brush out real quick. You can tell I've used that cup a lot. All right, we're going to set this brush to one side. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the main body of the Cardinal. Now, the way we're going to do that is we're going to use that number 6 round brush. We're going to use our red. This is a Tuscan red. Shake it up, shake it up. We'll throw it down there. See, nice red. Oh, that's a nice red. And then we're going to use this here, right here, is jack-o'-lantern orange. I call it pumpkin orange or Halloween orange. Jack-o'-lantern orange. We're going to get a little bit of this. And going, wait a minute, Gypsy, where's the orange in the Cardinal? Well, you're getting ready to find out, actually. So, we're going to get some of that. Now, we're going to take this round brush and pull a little red here. Then I'm going to pull some of this orange, just a little bit of orange into that red, just to lighten it up slightly. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here like so, and I'm going to brush that red in. It lightens it up just enough, just enough. See how nice that looks? That's a really pretty red. We'll go ahead and, I know that I'm going to be putting snow up there later, so I'm not too worried about it. But we're just going to take, we're going to keep doing that same thing on the main body of the bird. Okay? Just, we'll leave a little back off of here on the back side. So we're going to go in here. I think I want that little more orange right in here. I'm just going to lighten that up just a little bit right there. There we go. All right. Come in here. See how nice that's looking? A little bit of red, just grab a little bit of orange. And it lightens it up just enough. That's going to give a contrast to the wing. Now, we'll go in there on that wing, which we'll do here in just a second. As soon as we get, you see how quickly this is going. Not spending a lot of time, but we're getting it done. And it's looking really nice. Just keep using that number 6 round. Just like that. Put a little bit more red and orange in here, like so. And notice I'm using downward strokes. These are feathers, remember. So the feathers would be a downward stroke, right? They would not be crossed like this, or we wouldn't cross hatch, you know, like we did before. You just do that nice little downward stroke. Okay, once you're satisfied with your red and orange mixture there, and you feel like you got, we got a little thing there that wants to join us. We'll get it off of there like so. We're going to pull that back. Come here, you. Love it when we get these little, there we go. I call them boogers. I don't know what else to call them. I just call them burgers. Okay. So, we got the main body of the Cardinal done. Now we're going to go in. We're just going to use a straight Tuscan red. No orange. We're going to do this wing. We want that wing darker. So we're going to do the wing. Like so. Now you notice the difference between using a little bit of orange and going in with just a straight Tuscan red, which is a darker red. You can see what happens there. Just like that. Don't be afraid to use the paint. You want textures going. You definitely want textures going, so use that paint. Okay, we'll go down here and we'll get the bottom portion of the wing. Like that. And we got that taken care of. Now, that we have all that done, what we need to do next is we need to take care of these rough edges. Right? We need to go in, take care of all the rough edges. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take care of the rough edges. I'll show you how we're going to do that. Clean out that round brush. You see how quickly this is coming together? It's actually starting to be a painting. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go back in here with my blue, and I'm going to come right on the edge here. And when I do this, I'm going to feather back out towards what I've already done with the blues. So we'll want to just feather that out there. Just let it blend in with everything else. And you get a little more blue here. Don't need much, just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to feather this all out. Just like that. It's okay to have it a little darker around the outside of the Cardinal. It helps him stand out a little bit more so that he's more noticeable. See, I'm going in here and just kind of touching the edges here. Now, if I think that my blue is too dark around the edge, I can always go in and just grab a little bit of white and feather it back in like that. And we still got our kind of snowy background going. You see how I'm just coming in here and grabbing that? Just like that. Now, come down here. Feather all that back out. You need to come on this edge right here. Just using the liner brush. Remember, always feather it back out. After you cover up what you need to cover up, just feather it out. Just like so. Every little thing you do just enhances the painting. Excuse me, you cannot make a mistake. Let me repeat that. You cannot make a mistake. Okay? Mistakes are something that Bob Ross, I invoke Bob Ross, I don't care, I like him. He used to call them happy little accidents. The point he was making is you can't make a mistake. Anything that you do with your painting is your painting. It's art. You are creating a work of art. So don't worry about what you think might be a mistake, because no one else will see it except you. That's true. Nobody's going to come along and say, oh, look, they made a mistake. There's nobody in the world that's going to do that. I promise you. Because it's all art. That's what it is. So I'm coming in here, coming down the tail. Grab the edge of that tail. See how I'm getting rid of the white that was showing through. Come down here like so. And we come here. We'll just pull that across there like that. And we'll come back in and feather that white back in, just like we did up above. And your painting is starting to come together. your nice little snowy background here. And we'll get to the snow here in just a couple of minutes after we get some of this other stuff done. So as soon as I get the Cardinal completely edged here, and I'm happy with where it's at, next thing we'll do is we will work on the branches that the Cardinal is sitting on. Now, one thing to keep in mind is color theory. If you don't know color theory, look it up on the internet and you'll learn a whole lot about color theory. And we're going to talk about color theory here in just a minute or so. Now, I don't want you to think I'm trying to teach you here, even though I would like you to be able to learn a few things when I'm doing this. I'm doing this more or less as a demo to show you what you yourself can accomplish with any paint party painting that you do. I want you to know that you can take it to the next level. Don't ever look at somebody else's paint and go, oh, I wish I could do that. You know why you don't do that? Because you can do that. You see how it kind of came on the crown? Now I'm going to feather this back out, like so. And then just again, we'll come in with the white. Got some white in there. This is a little dark right here. I don't like how dark that is. I'm going to... So you can always go back and take a look at what you've done. And if there's something you don't like, you can go and say, well, you know what, I think I'll do something different right there. And that's what I just did there. I did something different. Okay. Let me feather this out up here. It's appropriate that I'm saying feather since we are doing a painting of a bird, right? I've always enjoyed watching cardinals in the wintertime. They're so brightly colored and they're so pretty. That red up against snow, I'm telling you what, that is just, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. We have a bird feeder in our front yard, and our cat Cricket sits on top of her cat tree by one of the kitchen windows. That's where her cat tree's at. It's by a kitchen window. And she intently watches that bird feeder in the wintertime. You can just about see her licking her lips, and you can see the pleading in her eyes. Please, Daddy, please let me go out and play with the birds. Except we know that she don't want to play with the birds. She wants to have them for dinner. So, needless to say, the closest Cricket will ever get to the birds is sitting in the window and looking outside. And I think the birds know it too, because the birds don't seem to be bothered by her sitting in that window. They go to the bird feeder and they have themselves a nice little lunch. My Cricket sits there and just has a fit because she can't get to her little feathered friends. All right. So we got that done. I'm going to put a little more white right down in here, I think. Just kind of a couple of dabs. Not much, just a couple of dabs. There we go. All right. Now that we have that done, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do that branch. Now, the Cardinal, he's sitting in front of that branch, or he's sitting behind the branch. The branch is actually in front of him. We have to have brown for that branch. Now, if you remember I talked about color theory a minute ago? If you understand color theory, you know that you can take yellow, red, blue, and mix it up and make brown. But I'm going to show you an easier way to do it. So, where's my black at? There's my lamp black right there. I'm going to shake this up. Now, I actually do have a brown here that we're going to use, but I want to show you how to make an easy way to make brown. A very easy way to do it. So take a little bit of black. like so. What you want to do is you want to grab some of this orange right here. I'm going to put a little orange over here just so we can show you. This is just a demo to show you. Okay, there's that little bit of orange right there. We'll take just a touch of black here. I'm going to start mixing it up. Just like that. And if you notice, we have ended up with brown. Now, if I want to lighten that brown, see that? We now have brown. A little bit of orange, and you can do this with yellow too. You can use yellow. A little bit of orange. Just a touch of black. I'm just going to put a streak on here so that you can see. You can see we have ended up with brown. That's how easy that is. That is absolutely how easy that is. You don't have to get all crazy. Oh, I don't have brown. Well, yeah, you do. You have it right here if you have orange and you have black. Now I'm going to lighten this up just a little bit by putting a little more orange in it. And we'll lighten it up. It's almost going into a nutmeg color. I'm going to put a little bit here so that you can see it. And see, that's brown. That's all there is to it. It's that simple. So, if you find yourself in a situation where you don't have brown, don't worry, you do have brown. If you have yellow or if you have orange and you have black, you can make brown. It's that easy. Now, I have a nice little burr number here. It's deco art again. Americana. This is actually what I'm going to use for my branches. See, you can see it's a little bit darker than that brown that I mixed up. I need a little bit more than that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean out my liner brush here real quick. Oh, I tell you what, before we do that, I want to do something here. Just so it can be drying. Let's just go right in here. And we'll fill in the beak. Use that liner brush and carefully fill in that beak. Now we're going to come back, we're going to do a second coat on this. But there's the initial coat. That's the initial coat on the beak. Like I said, we're going to come back, we're going to do a second coat on this. But you want that as smooth as you possibly can make it. No texture on this part. And I'll come back in and I'll put some orange in there here in a minute. So, I'm going to clean out this brush. We'll come back in with my number 6 round. I'll grab my brown here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a bark texture on that tree limb. You see how it's kind of, it don't have to be, you don't want consistent color here. It's a tree limb. It's a limb that has lost all of its summer leaves. They're all gone. All those leaves are gone. And it's been in the cold and it's pretty gnarly. It's a tree limb that's waiting for summer to come back around. It wants spring to be there so that it can have all its buds back on it again. Get this one down here. We'll do this one down here. Just like that. Okay. We'll get that tree limb there. Now you notice that I didn't come all the way down on the tree limb, and there's a reason for that. And you're getting ready to find out the reason here in just a second. Okay, now we have the tree limb. Tree limbs, both tree limbs. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. Remember that brown that I mixed up a minute ago? Using the black and the orange? Well, we're going to use it now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here on the edge. Now you can see that it's almost the same color as the burnt umber that I just used. You notice that? Burnt umber is slightly darker. So what this does is this gives us a nice light little edge here. So we'll come down here and do the same down here. May have to mix up some more here. So let's get some more mixed up. Some orange up there. Grab a little bit of black. And we'll get our brown mixed up. Oh, that's a little darker. Huh. We can use that. We can definitely use that. Okay. So I'm going to come here on this bottom. Right through here. I'll put this darker one on this bottom of this branch because you would have shade and shadow. This would be darker because not as much light is hitting it. So we'll just go in there and we'll just make that dark, like so. Just like that. And we'll come up here and do the same right through here. We're going to come back in this area here. We're going to just kind of darken that up, make it a little gnarly branch. We'll just come down here like so. That's looking good. It's looking real good. Had to look over there at my software, make sure that everything's recording. I'd hate to be sitting here talking and nothing's recording. That would just really suck. Since we weren't able to go live. It really upsets me, Facebook. What the hell? So we'll go up in between his little toes there. You know, this is a male, okay? Females are kind of a darkish gray color. A lot of times the females are mistaken for a bird called a waxwing that looks like a cardinal. But they're more gray. They don't really have any color to speak of. That's because they need to hide out. The males are bright, so the predators focus on them instead of on the female who's sitting on the nest. They also the bright plumage is to attract females. Hey baby, look at my bright plumage. Wanna come over to my place and play a game of Twister? But I'm sorry, I kind of channeled Johnny Bravo there for a second. And if you don't know who Johnny Bravo is, you have my apologies, and I really feel bad for you. So, get some more of my brown, my special brown that I mixed up myself. And go in here and do the bottom of this limb. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Look at that. So we get this done. And I am going to, we'll let the painting dry for a second after I do a couple more things here. And the reason why I'm letting it dry for a second after I do a couple more things here is because it gives me an opportunity to talk to you about something that I think you'll want to hear about. And so I hope you want to hear about it. It's exciting news, but let me get what I'm doing right now taken care of, and then we'll come in and tell you the exciting news. Alright. I know now you're waiting with bated breath because I tempted you with exciting news. You're just going to have to wait. Get this here. Now, before we stop for a second, let this dry a little bit because it really does need to dry for our next steps. I need to go back in here and I want to put a little more Tuscan red right through here. I want to edge that out a little bit and edge it out right about in here too. We'll get that edged out. Okay. And we need to bring a little bit more down through here like so. Now, if you are a fan of Vincent van Gogh, you know that he liked to line everything. It's funny, you know, modern comic books and what have you, they were always lined. They always had a black outline around them. We're not going to put a black outline around this, but I mentioned it because if you wanted to, you could. You could put a black outline around the Cardinal and it would look just fine. It really would. If that's what you wanted to do. I'm not going to do it with this one. I thought about it. I actually thought about putting a black outline around it. But no, I think we'll just stick with what we're doing right here. Right now. Okay, so you see I went in here and I kind of re-edged that out. Like right here. We need to bring that down. We need to edge that out a little bit. It's okay to pick up a little bit of the blue. That's fine. Alright. I think we've about got it. Let me come up here in the crown a little bit. What do we call it good? I'm going to show you something here. And this goes towards taking your paint party painting to the next step, to the next level. I want to show you something. Let me get this re-outlined right here. Hold on a second. See that orange just popping up in there? So what I'm doing, so I'm using the orange to give the impression of feathers. Don't want to overdo it, okay? But it will definitely help. So I'm going to put a little bit back here. Notice I'm just kind of bringing it in just a little bit. It'll help give it the impression of feathers. Still a red cardinal. But by putting these little streaks of orange in, you have that impression of feathers going on. Come down here. Now, one of the reasons we need to let this dry for a second is becoming self-evident right in here. We've picked up some blue that's still wet. See it right there? And we don't want to carry that on into the painting. It's going to make the Cardinal look kind of funky if we do that. Okay, let's bring a little bit of orange down in here. Just like so. See, that starts helping your Cardinal look like it has feathers, which is what you want it to do. All right. I'm going to let this dry for a second. So that I can visit with you. I'm going to expand my screen here. Hi. So, this is the exciting news. I promise you, why the painting's drying a little bit, I'm going to tell you this exciting news. Not only are we getting ready to do our first Mad Hatter Tea Party Art paint party live in Abilene, Texas on the 23rd of December, but also we are going to do an online, that's right, paint party. We're going to do it online. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it online. You have an opportunity to jump in and uh, to partake of the paint party. We're going to do a snowman. Now, I'm going to post a snowman in the group and on the Mad Hatter page here in a couple of days. Probably tomorrow. I'll probably get posted up there tomorrow so that you can see what it is. We're going to create the event, and hopefully we don't run into the same type of glitch that we ran into this time. But we are going to do a live online paint party, and you have an opportunity to join in on that. This is how you're going to do it. There will be a link posted over to the Mad Hatter website, and you will sign up over on the Mad Hatter website for the live online paint party. Yes, virtual paint party will be live. Hopefully we'll have all the glitches worked out, but we'll be able to actually, you'll be able to paint right along with me, and we're going to create something beautiful. And this snowman that we're going to do, well, just wait and see, because you'll be very surprised. It's very nice. Also, just so that you know, the Winter Cardinal, you'll be able to go onto the Mad Hatter website to be able to get the templates and the instructions on how to do Winter Cardinal. So we got a whole bunch of fun things getting ready to happen, a bunch of fun things for you getting ready to happen. All you have to do is just stick with us and watch it grow, and know that every time that you do a painting from a Mad Hatter paint party, you're honoring the memory of the Mad Hatter, and she's probably smiling down from heaven because this was her dream, and that's a dream that we want to make come true. So the painting now has had just enough time to dry. It's at a point now where I can go back in there and do the things I need to do to finish this painting up. So let's finish this painting and see how it's going to look when we get done. I'm going to minimize myself again. I'm going to take a little bite of the cake that Alice had, and I'll shrink myself here, and there I am, and we will finish this painting. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to take my liner brush again. That beak has had enough time to dry, so I'm going to grab some orange here. Oh, a little too watery. That's okay, we can take care of that. Come back in here and grab it. We'll put a second coat on that beak. Just like so. And there it is. Okay. Now we're going to take our black. I'm going to start right up here. We're going to put the black in the face on the Cardinal. Just like that. Get all that in there. Don't worry about me covering the eye. I know where the eye's at. See, look at that. It's starting to look like a cardinal, isn't it? Come back here. Little black mask like a bandit. You know what they're going to rob, right? They're going to rob all your berries. Because that's what they do. They're berry robbers. They'll hit your berry trees and you won't have any berries left on your trees, and you'll go, those cardinals. How dare they be named after a holy person when they steal berries? So now, our cardinal here has his mask. I'm going to smooth this out a little bit. There's his mask. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the liner brush and I'm going to carefully put the bill in. Just like that. I got a little paint on my arm, just like that. Now, I do want to go back in here on that beak. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. But I want to put a little more orange and thin the mouth out a little bit. I don't like how thick the mouth is, but that's just me being picky. Okay, now we're going to come in here. We're going to do the feet, just like so. The little feet's holding onto the branches, because if he didn't hold onto the branches, he'd fall to the ground. So we don't want him falling to the ground. We need him to hold that branch. So there's one little foot. Then we're going to come in and do the other little foot, like so. Come over here and do this. Get that foot done. What do you think so far? You think we might be getting this? All right. So now we have his feet. Now that we have his feet, we'll come back in here with a little bit of this Tuscan red, and right here where we had that place show up, I'm just going to blend that back like that. See, I picked up a little bit of black there. I wanted to pick up a little bit of black because what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a texture in here to where I darken up these areas right here. This is again what I was talking about, enhancing your painting. So then I'm going to come in here with this brown that we used on the branches. I'm going to grab a little bit of red. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly touch right here, like so. See what's happening there? We're creating a shadow below our bird. And then we're going to put some little lines in there for the feathers. We're going to do the same thing, but we're not going to dip the brush this time. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here on the wings, and we are going to create the impression of feathers. Just by putting some little streaks in there. See those little streaks I'm putting in there? That will give the impression of feathers. You don't have to get real detailed. You just have to kind of give it an impression there. All right. Now you can see that we have the impression of feathers there. What I'm going to do now is I'll take a little bit of the Tuscan red and I'll lightly go over the areas that I just did, using the Tuscan red to blend them back out. Just like so. And we end up with the impression of feathers on our bird. That easy. Nothing to it. Using oranges, using browns, using a little bit of black, we end up giving light and shadow to the bird. Now, I want to give a little light and shadow over in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back in here again with this Tuscan red. I'm going to blend this back up where this little bit of black is. I'm going to blend it back up in there. But I also can pick up some of it, which I want to do. Grab a little touch of brown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this brown down like this. Around like so. Kind of point it back out. And then we're going to take the Tuscan red Go back over that. Now you can see we have a shadow for the wing. It's really that easy to do. Nothing to it. You just run in there and do it. Now, next step I'm going to do, so remember I said I was going to go back up in here and put a little more orange in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lightly touch this. I just felt my arm dip into the paint. That's always fun. Makes you a more colorful person. Got a little Tuscan red on me there. That's okay. It washes off. All right. Grab a little more of this orange right here, and we'll come in here and just kind of lightly touch that. Just enhance it a little. There we go. All right. Now, our next step is grab some of this brown, take a look at the branch, and see where you can even out the color on the branch. You do want the branch to look gnarly, but at the same time, you don't want any canvas showing through. So you just kind of go in there and you want to be consistent. You want everything consistent. Coming up in here. You want to make this as consistent as possible. Just like so. We're going to come right here like that. And we'll come over here. Like so. Now, once you get that done, what you can do next is you can take this brown and you can create some small limbs coming off there. This helps you to enhance the branch so it looks more like a tree branch. You all can't see it right now, but my foot is being attacked viciously by a cricket kitty. And I have no idea why she decided right at this moment to attack my foot, but apparently that's a thing. So anyway, just come and just slightly touch and put some branches on your tree. Give it more of a actual tree look. See what that does? That just kind of enhances your painting. And you can tell where to put a branch, where to put a little twig coming off. Because what happens is there's little gnarly areas that create that effect. So now you've done little tree branches there, which enhances your painting. Darken them up just a little bit so no blue showing through. We don't want any blue showing through on these. Then what I'm going to do, again, this is where I'm talking about taking your paint party painting to the next level. This is all part of it. Take a little bit of black. Not much. Just kind of, don't clean your brush out. Just grab a little bit of black. And on the underside of each branch that you did, just run a little bit of black underneath that branch. what it'll do is it'll give you some shade and shadow there. Just like that. See how I'm just picking up just a little bit of black coming underneath each branch. Just create a little bit of shade and shadow. Oh, I noticed something here a second ago. It's always nice to kind of step away from your painting for a second, take a look at things, because you don't always see things up close. I just noticed that I didn't put any separation of feathers on the bottom portion of the wing. So I'll come in here and do a couple of streaks of the brown, nothing major. Grab some of the Tuscan red, come in here and blend that back. There we go. All right, so now we have that part done. Next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put the white, I need some fresh white here, in the eye. Now the way we're going to do that eye, see, I just have a little bit of white here. I don't need much. The way we're going to do that eye is we're going to make it like a comma and a period. So we're just going to come in here and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. And there's the eye. That's all we had to do. It was that simple. Comma and a period. Now what you can do if you want, you can come in here using the black that's there. See how I'm lightly brushing that? And you can blend that back and leave it so that the center part of the eye is more prominent than the comma is. Also take your white while you have it there. What you want to do is you want to come here on the top part of the beak. Like this. Now watch what I'm going to do. Bring this back. We'll grab that orange and go right over that white that I just did. I'm going to hit the bottom here. Oh, I went over the mouth a little bit. I can take care of that though. That's not a problem. You see how it lightened up the that beak a little bit? Just by putting some white in with the orange. Now, if you take a little touch of orange, and you come here on the edge of the mouth, like so, just a little bit, and then blend back off the edge of the beak, like so. You add a nice little dimension to the beak. See how that worked? Alright, so now we're at that point where we're going to add the snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. So I'm going to get a little bit more white because we're going to use a bit of white here. I'm going to start at the top. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some snow on the cap for our cardinal. Right here on the crown, like so. I'm going to kind of Work it back a little bit. Like that. We'll come in here. Add a little bit here, and I'm going to add a couple of little streaks right in here, like so, just like that. Then I'm going to come underneath, right here, underneath the chin, come down just a little bit, like so. We are going to pull that through. Now, I don't know if you're noticing what's happening here, but we're picking up a little bit of that blue, which just adds a little shadow and a little more texture into it. Look at that. Then what we'll do is we'll come in here, we'll just we'll streak it out a little bit, like so. Just add some streaks in there. I think I want to bring the snow down a little bit more this direction. Just like that. You put some more. I'll put some more streaks in here. You know, he's in the snow. Let's put a little. I think I do want to make that a little bit brighter. And then let's add a couple of streaks here, like so. Then we'll go, I don't know. Let's put some streaks down in here like this. That looks good. Okay. Now, we can come in here on the wing. Notice I left a blank area there because I knew what I was going to be coming in and doing right there. And put a little white there on the wing, like so. And then I'm just going to bring it down the whole length of the wing. Just like that. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to put, notice I'm picking up some of that red, which is fine. It's not the problem. Actually, don't mind picking up some of that because it just kind of enhances what we're doing. Alright. Now we'll put a little bit, we'll come in here at the bottom. We'll put a little bit on the bottom right in there. Just like that. We'll go ahead and bring it all the way down the tip. Then I'll add some streaks in here like so. That's looking really good. Let's go ahead, just for the fun of it, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cap this until it kind of goes off and just kind of disappears a little bit. Alright. Now, I want to come in here over here. Oh, we picked up some red. We don't want to do that on that. So let me clean that brush out. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. We're going to put some snow on this branch. Now, here we go with an enhancement, like I was talking about before. Let's get the snow on here, and then I'm going to show you a little trick. Oh, we picked up that red again. Where did we pick up that red from? Oh, it's over there on the edge. Okay. All right. Put some snow here. You know, however much snow you decide you want on your branch, it's your branch. You do however much snow you feel like you want. I want a lot of snow. It's been snowing like crazy. So I want a whole lot of snow. It's winter after all, right? All right. Okay. Now once you get your snow in there, come in here on the feet. Just kind of touch the feet a little bit. Just like so. That's all you have to do with the feet. You don't have to do anything else with the feet except that. Look at all that snow, man. I'll tell you what. You can put as little or as much snow as you want to put. I want a lot of snow. We'll snow this up. It's winter time. I don't know what winter's like where you're from, but here in Kansas, winters can get pretty gnarly. If you're in Florida, not so much, but in Kansas, see, we'll just put a little touch of snow right there. We'll put a little touch here, maybe a touch right in there. We should put just come off of there like that. Maybe just a touch up in here, come down in here like so. And a little touch here. Now we have all that snow. Man, that's a lot of snow. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a little bit of this blue. Remember that blue from a while ago? Yeah, remember that? I'm going to grab a little bit of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here on my snow. I'm going to hit the snow with just a light touch of that blue. Just a light touch. So what we're doing here is we're going to add a little dimension to the snow. Because snow isn't just pure white. I know it kind of looks like it at times, but there's actually, you can see blues in snow. It's from the water that's in there picking up light, and you can definitely see blues in snow. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue in my snow, just to help enhance it a little bit. Because I know how snow looks. You know, when I was a kid, I used to live for snow days. Snow day meant you didn't have to go to school. It meant that you could go to the biggest hill in town, which in Topeka is Quinton Heights, and you could just sled your little heart out if you could talk your parents into taking you over there and freezing their buns off while you sled. I was always able to talk my mom into it. She tried to sled one time, thought she was going to break her leg. Just sledding was for kids and those more athletically inclined. My mom was not athletically inclined. Bless her heart. She tried though. She wanted to be one of the kids. So now I added a little bit of blue in the snow just to give it that effect. Now what we're going to do, without me cleaning out my brush, we're going to add snowflakes. Well, yeah, if you got snow on the branches, you got to have snowflakes, right? So I'm going to go over here into where we have a little bit of blue here. See, there's a little bit of blue with that white right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some snowflakes. And all I'm going to do is we're just going to touch. And snow's always different shapes and sizes. So you just go in and just give a few touches in there. Over here, let's get some snow over here. We'll just snowflake it up. It's a nice winter evening. Snow is falling. The Cardinal's like, I'm done for the day. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. I've been eating at Gypsy's bird feeder all day. Been teasing that cat. And now I'm just going to take it easy for the rest of the day. Let me put a couple of snowflakes right in here. There we go. It's now snowing where this Cardinal lives. The Cardinal's in snow. We've done some things, some just minor little things to enhance it. You can always go back in while you still have that white on your brush. And grab a little bit of the Tuscan red. And what you can do is you can go in and lightly touch some different areas to give a kind of sheen to the feathers, just like so. You don't want to get crazy, just a little bit. Come in here. And it's just a beautiful, very simple to render paint party painting that we enhanced a little bit just by doing a couple of different things. And last thing that you have to do when you do a painting, I'll go grab a little more red. I think I want a little more red in here. Last thing that you have to do when you do a painting, which is a really important part of the painting, is you have to sign your name. So I'm going to sign my name. Take a little bit of this black right here. Thin it out just a little bit. And right here in this corner, I'm going to do my world famous signature. It's world famous because nobody else does a signature like mine. That's what makes it world famous. Just use my liner brush. What year is this? 2024. And look at that, I picked up some of that white. Jag 2024, that's my signature. And that, my friends, is a paint party painting. And we enhanced it. We did a couple of things to it to bring it out. And it is a good looking painting. We got it all done. It's beautiful. And if you try this at home, just play with it. Just do different things that you want to do. And you should be able to create a very pretty painting. So let me make myself large here again. I'll post a close-up picture of it. All right. Well, that's it. I'm sorry I couldn't live stream this. I'm sorry it had to be recorded, but hey, what are you going to do, right? But at least we got it done. We did this beautiful painting, and it's finished. You know, it's a paint party painting that you can go in and you can enhance. It's a real simple painting you can play with, and you can have a lot of fun doing it. So, hopefully next time we can go live. We'll see what happens. But until then, this is your friendly neighborhood gypsy saying, see you later, Gator. Hasta la vista, baby. Bye-bye now.